Coming up on Cedar Valley today, Waterloo Middle School students look at the basketball court from a new angle.
One local firefighter is taking his training to the next level.
Presidential candidate Martin O'Malley spoke to students and residents.
Iowa's mental health institutes are still undergoing major changes.
Fantasy sports are gaining controversy as they take fans off the sidelines and put them on the screen.
Inside Mother Mosque, we take a closer look at the Islamic faith.
And Quentin Hart is elected as the new mayor of Waterloo. We hear about his first days in office.
And a look at the new military policy affecting women. This is Cedar Valley Today.
Presidential candidates are making rounds in Iowa, hoping to win the people's affection and the caucuses.
Welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Christina Alexander.
And I'm Tyler Metcalf. One of the Republican Party's presidential candidates, Rick Santorum, visited Waverly for the second time this year on Monday.
Santorum has previously visited Duo's Coffee and Ice Cream in May. And according to a nationwide poll conducted by Real Clear Politics on October 3rd, Donald Trump is polling at 22.6%, Ben Carson at 17.3%, Carly Fiorina at 11%, Marco Rubio at 9.5%, and despite ranking at just 0.4%, Santorum says that he has no intention of pulling out of the race. Former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum is currently on his 99-county tour. The tour of Iowa counties helped him win the hearts of Iowans and ultimately the Iowa caucus in 2012, and he hopes to do that again.
I trust the people of Iowa. I'm going to get around and talk to them and hopefully make a good impact like we did last time. And when people get to serious time instead of silly season, and they're looking for someone who they really think can be the President of the United States, hopefully they'll look at me.
Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz visited Wartburg College this weekend. The main topic on the agenda, Christian values.
He stands for good Christian values and principles, and he says what he means and means what he says.
All across the state of Iowa, all across this country, people are waking up. There is an awakening, and there is a spiritual revival.
Senator Cruz is currently the frontrunner in the Iowa polls, leading 28 to 24% over Donald Trump. He was introduced to the stage by his endorsers, CEO of Family Leader Bob Vanderplatz, Iowa State Representative Sandy Salmon, Congressman Steve King, and his wife Heidi with their daughter. Bernie Sanders has received over 25 million individual contributions to his campaign, which is more than any presidential candidate ever.
There are a lot of Iowans right now who are tired of status quo politics. If we can bring out large numbers of people, if we can have a high voter turnout, I am absolutely confident that we're going to win here.
Following Saturday night's debate in Des Moines, Democratic presidential candidate Martin O'Malley visited Wartburg College yesterday for a meet and greet with Wartburg students and Waverly residents. The former Maryland governor talked about ways to make higher education more affordable to millennials and why climate change is the greatest business opportunity to come to this country in over 100 years. Among other things discussed was the Paris massacre, which O'Malley said is a new type of war.
This new type of warfare is not confined to one battlefield. It's not confined to simply Iraq or Syria. It's actually a global battlefield, and that includes the potential for us to suffer casualties here in our own homeland.
The fledgling democratic state of Kosovo is in the process of opening their first consulate in the United States. The decision to choose Des Moines over other cities comes from the long relationship the Iowa National Guard has had with Kosovo during their rebellion and consequent separation from Serbia. Colonel Lieutenant Michael Woon explains who is to be credited for this relationship.
Major General Tim Orr recognized that really there was a lot of opportunity to do things beyond just security cooperation. with Kosovo as a developing country, a newly independent country in the Balkan Peninsula. He recognized that there was opportunities for cooperation in other sectors beyond security.
The project involves many street closures, but will eventually result in what city administrators call a win-win for Waverly.
As part of this project, we're developing a major green belt through the heart of the community. This provides an opportunity for recreation in the form of walking and biking.
World AIDS Day is held on December 1st each year and is an opportunity for people worldwide to unite in the fight against HIV. The first World AIDS Day took place in 1988, 4 years after HIV was identified. Organizers say the purpose is for people across the world to unite in the battle against HIV. According to the WorldAIDSDay.org, an estimated 34 million people have the virus and more than 35 million people have died as a result of the HIV or AIDS. The group asks people to wear a red ribbon today in support of those affected by HIV or AIDS. Joining me now is Tammy Hott, a leading organizer and champion of anti-criminalization efforts for people with HIV and organizer of the world's first HIV is Not a Crime conference. Thank you for joining us, Tammy. So first, can you share with us a little bit of your personal story with HIV?
Yes. I have been living with HIV for 22 years. I was diagnosed August 23rd, 1993. It was the day before my 25th birthday. I went in to be tested, I never believed that HIV would ever happen to somebody like me. It's something that we think it happens to other people. But my fiance at the time was diagnosed with AIDS on August 4th, 1993. We had plans to get married on November 27th of that year. And on August 4th, the doctor told us that we should cancel our wedding plans, that he wouldn't live long enough. Luckily, he did, and we were able to get married. However, he did pass away October 12th, 1996, which was 2 months and 9 days before our son was born. So my son is now 18 years old. I never imagined back in 1996 when he was born that I would live long enough to see him graduate, but I was able to see him walk across the stage last year.
Taha Tawil is an imam or religious leader of a Muslim community. He is also the executive director for the Mother Mosque of America, located in Cedar Rapids.
All what I want to say, that Islam talks for itself. It tells you to believe in a creator. It tells you that there is day of judgment. You should not harm others, nor kill others, nor abuse others. It tells you about justice, compassion.
Tawil says the Islamic religion has 6 articles of faith. Muslims believe that there is one God, angels, prophets, the message of God through the prophets, life after death, and predestination. Muslims follow Allah's teachings that are written in their holy book, called a Quran.
So in order for people to understand the scripture and the message of God, they have to read Al-Quran.
Islamic rituals are at the heart of their 5 pillars, which are faith, prayer, zakah, or charity, fasting, and pilgrimage to Mecca, also known as Hajj.
That's the unique thing about Islam, is that wherever you go, you find the same message, you find the same rituals.
I think people are truly getting excited about being part of Waverly. We've been able to define who we are, which is hugely important. It gave us an identity as we grow. There's a feeling that we are on the way to becoming a good destination town, and we need this momentum to continue, so I ran for another 2 years.
And last time when you were seeking election, you mentioned a housing crisis in Waverly. Is that still a problem?
We're working on it. We've expanded our housing. The problem is that in order to meet budget, in order to keep growing, in order to have enough students in our schools, in order to have our businesses, have enough business, they all want more business, we need to grow. And that means housing. And do we have enough space for housing? Well, we're expanding.
Welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Kaylin Thompson.
And I'm Alyssa Kozak.
Some middle school students in Waterloo are learning there is more than one way to hit the basketball court.
The students got to experience something new in PE class this week, and so did I. Students are getting the opportunity here at Central Middle School to learn how to use a wheelchair and to play basketball.
They're being exposed to something that they would normally not be exposed to. Not only be seeing it, but they get to experience it. They find out at first it's how nervous, because they've never, just how hard it is as well. And just to watch them, even though they still struggle, they still find enjoyment in it and the fun in it.
This morning we wrap up our 3-part series, Iowa Adventure.
Today we visit the countryside of Greeley and Edgewood to take a look at their turbines.
The wind is free, and we have a good area here where the wind blows a lot, and we might as well take advantage of that.
In the skyline between Greeley and Edgewood, Iowa, you will find the home of Elk Wind Industries and their turbines. Our crew got the rare opportunity to climb to the top of one of the turbines and experience the height of these machines. It takes about 10 minutes to get 300 feet and a few ladders to reach the top. Not only do turbines produce clean energy, they also hold some of the best views.
With Black Friday out of the way, main streets across Iowa are gearing up again toward Christmas.
Cedar Valley Today's Kaylin Thompson joins us live from Main Street, Cedar Falls. How are things lighting up there, Kaylin?
Well, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in downtown Cedar Falls. I'm here on Main Street, and while Cedar Falls' annual holiday hoopla kicked off last week, the Christmas spirit isn't fading anytime soon. There will be different events held to celebrate the holiday season. Events include lighting the street with ice sculpture luminaries and also a competition between the different bars to create the best holiday cocktail. Winter runners and walkers can take part in Santa's Snow Shuffle 5K Fun Run on December 12th. And guys, don't shave off your No Shave November beards quite yet. You can get your whiskers measured for Santa's Beard Contest on December 17th. Santa will be making special stops at his Main Street workshop every Saturday until December 19th.
We started it as a way to celebrate the festivities of the holiday season and also bring attention and traffic to downtown Cedar Falls to let people know about all of the stores and all of the restaurants that we have in our community.
Holiday Hoopla will last until December 19th. For a full list of activities, you can check out our Facebook page. Reporting live from downtown Cedar Falls for Cedar Valley Today, I'm Kaylin Thompson.
You're just flying through the air. You're weightless. It's wonderful.
It's 6 a.m. and the small town of Creston, Iowa is already awake. Hot air balloonists are gathering at the airport hangar to cover the details about their flight later that morning. Everyone closely watches the weather, hoping the wind will stay under 10 miles per hour. Otherwise, there will be no flying. Balloonists listen attentively while taking notes and planning the best route for their next adventure. This adventure varies from the rest, as it is a competition to see who can throw a stake closest to a target on the ground. The wind is borderline, but the balloons will still fly.
I think if you want to hit the airport, you have to be further to these.
The race is on. While some balloonists take to the air, others take their balloons to the streets in the parade. While the balloonists complete their morning flights, the cattle dog trials have just begun out in the beautiful countryside.
We put it in conjunction with Balloon Days to kind of maybe draw a bigger crowd from town to come out and watch, something to do in between the balloons flying and the parade. Just thought that might attract more spectators to see this sport that's just not that popular. Thought it'd be good for the community and also good for us, have people come out and watch.
Once the dog trials are complete, it's time for the balloonists to get back up in the air for the final flight of Balloon Days.
What did you take already?
The GPS, the cell phone, the iPad, the map, and the banners.
Jim and Rita have been flying together for over 30 years, with help from friends along the way.
Okay, let's go.
The golden sun sinks below the horizon as the balloon slowly makes its descent. The team rushes to the long-awaited night glow, the final event of Balloon Days.
There's something about Maddie Miller that just gets you excited every time she goes up for a kill attempt.
And I think it's just been how successful she's been when she does. So you kind of expect it to be a point every time. High standards to live up to as she goes again and does it just like that down the near baseline. Or
Who
sideline,
else?
I should say.
Who else but Maddie Miller come through and get a huge kill? Now once again, Willenbring has 18 kills. It would be great to see her get the final one here and tie her career high.
Everyone on their feet, at least the Wartburg fans are in Levick Arena, as this one is going to be sent towards the student section. Ritchie gets it over. Willenbring sets. Now Brown surprises them. That's going to find its way to the court. The Knights win the Iowa Conference Tournament title.
All right, great. They clinched the championship on my favorite possible play that you could have.
A surprise play by Brown. Now, as the players shake hands, you could see the excitement on the floor and the little huddle they got into.
How is a successful man defined? Is he defined by how many national championships are brought home? Or is he defined by the amount of blood, sweat, and tears that are spilt in a season? Or is it as simple as deciding to wake up in the morning and make that decision to not only make yourself better, but also to push the people around you to want success? Taking these simple concepts and turning them into reality requires a different type of person. A person with high intensity and high energy that is willing to lead his team to victory. A person that never gives up on his passion for not only the sport of wrestling, but also as his role as coach.
He's a coach of a program that's won so many national titles. He's great at motivating guys and just, I'd say, bringing out the best in them.
You definitely know when you come in that Keller's a man. It's just cool to be around someone who knows that much about the sport and can teach you.
I mean, coaching for me is just about seeing guys get their dream, you know, and that's what I love about it. You know, it's a passion for me. It's never ever been something that I've viewed as a job. You know, I mean, I come here and I get to help guys, you know, on and off the mat, and that's my passion, and that's what I love to do. And really, there's nothing more rewarding than seeing guys get their dream.